What's going on, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we have an Obi Wan Kenobi show update here with possible plot leaks. So without further ado, we're going to jump right on into it. Seeing that these are plot leaks for the potential show here coming out very, very soon in the year of 2022, we're going to simply take them with a grain of salt for one thing, as they're not officially confirmed by anyone at Disney, Lucasfilm, or Star Wars. They're coming from StarWars.net, which is very well a pretty trusty source as well out there, and I completely understand if you want to click off now to avoid those potential spoilers for these plot details and plot leaks, but without further ado, let's jump right on into it. The following quote comes from StarWars.net. Sometimes it's hard to believe another Star Wars story with Obi Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader is upon us. Kathleen Kennedy famously promised it would deliver the rematch of the century. The fight between Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 3 did not have Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader in the suit. That fight put him in the suit. A lot of fans wanted to see suited Darth Vader fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now they're finally delivering it in a very big way. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. This quote no longer means what you may think it meant. Obi-Wan Kenobi is still very much the master in this series, but the change in direction Obi-Wan takes after this story is why he allows his powers to fade. In this series, we're getting peaked Obi-Wan Kenobi. Around this time in the story, Obi-Wan Kenobi is dispatched to a planet on a rescue mission. He would promptly be leaving Tatooine. The captive prisoner is very important to the cause, and this Kenobi has to save said person from the Inquisitor clutches. The main Inquisitor holding the prisoner was performed by Moses and Graham in these sequences. The success of the mission is most likely what brings Vader forward into the action here. And then lastly, we have the castle and the consequence. Much like we saw in Star Wars Rogue One and various Star Wars comics, we're going to get the return of Darth Vader's castle that we saw on Mustafar. As matters escalate from the trouble Kenobi is causing, we see Mustafar again. Darth Vader rises from his throne and is in his ship's hangar to intercept his old master and heads on over there, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Based on reference material, it appears as if Darth Vader is using his TIE Advance that we did see originally in Star Wars 1977. A New Hope. While it wasn't actually physically there built on set, it appears as certain characteristics with the Inquisitor ships and shares those characteristics. And so with that, our final bit of details here, the fighter's trunks. Obi-Wan is wearing his clothes from Revenge of the Sith for the fight, or damn near close enough. The white tunic, no robe. His white tunic is more worse for wear now. It's a little worn down now, of course. He looks a little older as well, of course, as time is moving on, as this is taking place 15 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. He looks a little older and a little more tattered, like an aging gunslinger. His swagger remains the same as it ever was. When Kenobi walks into the dirt field, this is the guy that said Sith Lords are our specialty. So maybe we're gonna get a few callback references, maybe over back to the original prequels, as we did see with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ian McGregor, and the relationships between Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely something I think we're gonna see flashbacks, hopefully, for this series here, of course. But let's dive a little more deeper into this and break down some of these things here. Of course, it's already kind of, I feel like, just a well-known thing that we're going to be getting to see Vader's castle, maybe him and his interceptor, that type of stuff, of course. And then as well around the story and kind of the timeline that is taking place 15 years after the event of Revenge of the Sith. It was rumored a couple months ago that we're going to get to see a younger version of Princess Leia Organa, of course, in the series as well. The Inquisitors as well making an appearance, of course, was said to be in this series as well, but simply just a simple appearance. And from this description, it feels like they might be playing a larger role than we truly anticipated, and that there is very exciting. And swinging back around for the overall costume designs as well, it seems like it's fairly going to be the same, at least for Obi-Wan, that we originally saw in Revenge of the Sith, and maybe get that little bit of a transition between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope with what he's wearing. And same thing applies for Darth Vader. Darth Vader's suit has really always been the same, unless they want to use maybe some concept art, kind of like we saw in the Bad Batch show, or also in Star Wars Rebels, where that animation style was kind of the same as we saw in the original concepts for Darth Vader. However, I think it would be a little tricky to kind of pull that off, seeing that we did see the final suit in Revenge of the Sith, so it just doesn't really make complete sense. Furthermore, the article goes on to say Darth Vader steps into the dirt ground, so absolutely no idea what planet this could really be, a planet with dirt ground. Definitely not Hoth, maybe Endor or something like that. Really no idea. Probably Tatooine even, actually. actually, if you really think about it, or it could also be Naboo or Alderaan as well. I think to see a little more of Alderaan before it was blown up, I think would be definitely really cool to see. However, the costume, if I had to guess, is pretty identical to the one we saw in Rogue One, a Star Wars story costume, as we did see Darth Vader throughout the film here and there, and then especially towards that scene at the end of the film. I would also almost say the chest plate is the same for sure. A little brighter, however, and the lighting conditions as such made it hard to get a good read on the lens color used for Darth Vader in the fight. Furthermore, the article does say Obi-Wan realizes exactly who the monster in the suit is. Kenobi resolves is strong and his face is focused on the threat ahead. Darth Vader walks towards Kenobi, ready to engage him. That's when Obi Wan Kenobi force pushes Darth Vader what it looked like maybe 50 feet or so in total. Vader is launched into the air as he hits what appears to be a rock wall, like a Terminator taking a powerful hit. Vader slowly gets up, advances towards his moment of revenge, and that there is really what the only, I guess, description of this rematch that we're said to be getting. It definitely sounds epic. It sounds like something that's almost out of Star Wars The Force Unleashed game that we had a couple years ago, back in like the 2010s. I remember I grew up playing those games, so to see those fight sequences be brought into canon furthermore, and see those be like almost reimagined, except with Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, I think would be mind-blowing, just mind-blowing with the way that they're able to pull that off, especially with the modern day special effects and that type of thing, and movie effects, just in the modern day compared to Revenge of the Sith when that was made back in 2005, it's definitely going to be a huge step up. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any of the fight sequences from the prequels are bad. I'm pretty sure that they're all pretty legendary and that they're all really high-peaked and up there. And furthermore, kind of recapping back around here, seeing that we're getting the peak of Obi-Wan, the peak here. If you already thought that Obi Wan Kenobi was powerful during the Clone Wars animated show, because of course it's easier to animate the character when, you know, you want him to be really powerful, it's going to be easier to pull that off, of course. But if you also thought that he was more powerful when we saw him in Revenge of the Sith, think above that and beyond that. That's going to be absolutely insane to see, especially in a live action show. Then kind of going back around here for where this scene exactly is taking place, it's said to very well could be Tatooine, as I had said, Naboo, or Alderaan. It just really describes dirt, so I'm guessing maybe somewhere sandy. We could get the return of Geonosis, which I think would be really cool, or even Jeddah, as we saw it in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And with that there pretty much wraps up this entire article here from StarWars.net. It's a fairly reliable source, I think, in my own terms and conditions, and a lot of other Star Wars content creators are covering this story as well from that source as well. And while it's not officially confirmed by anybody over at Star Wars, Lucasfilm, or Disney, of course, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, take this simply with a grain of salt. Now, it's very fun to read this stuff, I think, in my own thoughts and opinions. Some people kind of get a little into it, a little too much into it, I think, and they take it too serious, as if it's confirmed. It's not confirmed. It's simply even just a rumor at that, and the only reason I like to talk about it is because it's fun to speculate on it. It's fun to hear more about this upcoming anticipated Star Wars show for 2022. I think it's one of the most anticipated Star Wars content that we've had out there since either The Force Awakens or The Mandalorian Season 2. I think it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing and absolutely insane. On top of that, a new video that we recently had covered and talked about the rumored and speculated release date here from various sources for the Obi Wan Kenobi show, that being sometime in May. Now, of course, it's going to be in May. That makes perfect sense for May 4th, Star Wars Day, but another recommended idea could be May 14th, which I do believe is the anniversary date for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which I think definitely would be very cool. Not only that, but it also lands on a Wednesday, both of these days, so either which way, we're probably going to get some sort of Star Wars episode for Obi Wan Kenobi on both of these days, which I think is just really awesome to think about in the near future here. It's just a really great time to be a Star Wars fan. So with all this, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the video and throughout, take it with a grain of salt. It's not confirmed. Don't get far into it. Don't get too into it. It's simply just fun to kind of talk about and speculate on it, and I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this, the rematch of the century? I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video, especially all the way up until this point. It means the absolute world to me. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Of course, may the Force be with you always. Peace out.